Hello there. Today we're going to attempt to change the oil cooler. The oil cooler on this M117 engine is right there. It goes behind the shroud back there. It is leaking oil. It's difficult to see, but it's leaking down there. I've got a new oil cooler. They are really difficult to get, so I got an aftermarket oil cooler from Germany. It is not exactly the same, but I'm trying and hoping that it will fit once I get the existing one out. The fittings on the new oil cooler are a bit bigger than the ones currently on. So I've ordered some reducers that hopefully will come today, that I can mount and then make the pipes fit. So yeah, we'll have to get to work. First order of business is to remove these. There are 4 screws on the fan shroud, 2 over there and 2 there. See if we can put this fan shroud a bit back and give us a bit more room to work with, and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, so now I've removed all 4 screws on the fan shroud, and it has come loose from the radiator. It's not giving me a ton of room, I must admit, but now I can see that the fan shroud needs to come off because it is mounted on the oil cooler itself. There are some small brackets on the top and below, and if I put my light down there, maybe you can see that it is leaking. It's not super easy to see, I must admit, but there's a bit of wetness down there that we need to get off. So now the next order of business is to remove the pipes from the top, and there's also one at the bottom. And I would say you have to be really careful under normal circumstances not to strip out the threads on the oil cooler, because the fitting on the pipe is steel and the fitting threads on the oil cooler is aluminium, and these two things do not normally go well together. I did replace at an earlier point in time the lower oil cooler hose, so that should not be a massive problem to get off again. This one I've never removed, so we'll have to see how that comes along. And the reason why I'm removing the pipes first is that if this comes loose first, it can be a bit difficult to get the pipes off afterwards. So I think I'm going to do that first, and then unscrew the oil cooler itself afterwards. So let's see how that goes. So the fitting came off, and now you can see the oil is draining from the oil cooler. Yeah, I think you can see how caked it is there, really caked. Yeah, I think it's due for a change. And as you can see down here under the car, it is quite moist from oil. It's difficult to see where it comes from at least, but it gives a bit of rust protection, I would say. So it's not ultimately bad, but it's not super cool either. So whilst the oil is draining, I'll lose the oil cooler itself. And if you wonder why the oil is so black, that's because I use liquid moly with the molybdenum sulfide in it, also known as MOS2, and that is already black when you pour it in. Yeah, no need to be worried about that. So let me see if I can locate the screws, and then I'll be back. Yeah, and now comes the fun part. It is super difficult to see, but up here there's a small screw in there. Don't know if you can see it. Right on the top, and then again down here at the bottom somewhere is a screw that I need to find, and you can see right there. Let me put the light so you can see it. Right there is one screw, and there's another screw further down, and that goes all the way through. So I need now to figure out how to get it out. I have seen a small nut on this side, but there's not a lot of space because there's this AC condenser in the way. But yeah, it's going to be a pickle. But let me see what I can figure out. And whilst the oil is draining, I should have plenty of time to figure that out. Yeah, 10 minutes later, this is the bolt. The nut is tucked away back there. It's not too bad to get it out. I'm much more concerned about how I get it back in. But yeah, I guess I'll have to worry about that later. So now I guess it's a matter of pulling out this long bolt. Here it is. It's been sitting there, I guess, for at least 50 years. Put that up in the tray, and then we'll have to see what happens next. Then there's another one tucked away all the way down there. So I need to figure out how to get to that. Yeah, we'll see. So I managed to get this far. All the screws are out. There weren't any more screws than the two ones I got out, and it needs to come up from below, sort of push up, and that is because on the new oil cooler you can see that it has these slotted sides, which means that when it sits like that, you can't wiggle it out. It needs to come up from below. So it's a bit of a hassle, given that this oil cooler has probably been in there for the past 52 years. Yeah, so I need to take it nice and slow. So it came out in one piece, and you can see the wetness. If I just flip it, there's something going on. It may be the fitting down there. It's been sort of sketchy all the time, but yeah, something is going on, and I'm not particularly comfortable with the situation like that, because if it bursts, you lose oil pressure within a matter of seconds, and that will yeah, sorry my French, it will kill the baby. Yeah, I'm glad it's out. Now we just need to make room for the new one. I just measured it. It is slightly longer. Yeah, I don't know if that is going to be a problem. We'll have to see. Yes, So a few hours later, yeah, really, it took a while. The new oil cooler is in. It is mounted with the 2 screws. I had to modify the bracket a little bit to make the holes fit. But yeah, it's in. I need to attach some fittings and button things up. Yeah, so I'll get back when this is done. So this is the last fitting that needs to be put on the oil cooler. So I'll just put that on here. Be careful not to over tight it. There we go. So now there's only one thing left, and that is to start up the engine to see if we have any leaks. I just want to spin the fan here to see if the shroud clears, and it does. I have a drip pan that I will put under the car just to be on the safe side, to catch anything if it spills all over the place. So now I'll go in and start the car. And let's see, I have this thermometer, so I'm aiming at the exhaust manifold. It's 12.8 degrees Celsius, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. No leaks so far. I'll let the engine run for a while just to make sure, but then I would declare victory and job well done.